crank it up.
Hey, who else around the office gives you 3 hours of non-stop classics starting at 9? Jane from accounting? 94.5 The Arrow. The commercial-free workday is the best workmate ever.
All new tonight, Wink News is digging deeper into the past of a Punta Gorda police officer at the center of a controversial arrest. Dashcam footage shows him sicking his canine on a man police say was drunk and disorderly. That suspect suing the city, and his attorney says the attack nearly killed him.
Brand new at 6, Wink News reporter Adam Wright reveals this isn't the first time that officer has been accused of crossing the line.
Attorney Scott Weinberg says the officer in this video needs to be off the streets.
I think he's too aggressive for Punta Gorda. He acts like he's in Fallujah every time he pulls over a car.
Lay down on yourself!
Canine officer Lee Cole was not disciplined after this takedown in October.
Put your legs up!
Cole's canine can be seen biting and tugging on a grounded suspect for nearly 2 minutes, leaving him severely injured.
From a technical standpoint, Officer Cole did not violate any of our policies. His new trainer went over this incident in depth. He got some additional training.
According to Officer Cole's personnel file obtained by Wink News, before coming to Punta Gorda, he had a brief stint with Miramar PD near Miami. In 2013, he received 2 excessive force complaints, the details of which are not stated. He was stripped of his badge and placed on administrative leave. Cole wrote, quote, "It was as if my heart and soul had been ripped out of my chest. I knew that I had never used any amount of force which was not justified." Later that year, Cole states Internal Affairs informed him the allegations were unfounded, but he had committed 2 policy violations. He left Miramar PD in April 2013. Under reason for leaving, he states, fail to meet probation. He started at Punta Gorda PD in March of 2014. Until now, his record here has been clean. He received high marks in his performance reviews, and a supervisor stated he has good common sense and an excellent attitude. In Punta Gorda, Adam Wright, Wink News, now.
Officer Cole said it was a dream come true when he became a canine handler. Punta Gorda police say since that video surfaced, the officer has received death threats.
Because guess what? It's 2016 and every network is great. In fact, Sprint's reliability is now within 1% of Verizon. And Sprint saves you 50% on most Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile rates. So I switched to Sprint, and millions more have too. Can you hear that?
Don't let a 1% difference cost you twice as much. Switch to Sprint today.
Details about the history of a Punta Gorda police officer at the center of an excessive force lawsuit. You can see Officer Lee Cole and his canine officer Spirit arresting a man for a traffic stop in this video. Well, we're now learning that the officer in this video may have had excessive force complaints against him in the past while working for another department. Four in Your Corner investigator Sam Sosa looking into why the officer was hired despite his questionable past, and she joins me live in the studio tonight. Sam?
Amy, Officer Cole wasn't suspended, but did receive counseling and training. The president of the Gulf Coast Police Benevolent Association tells me the police departments do extremely thorough background checks before hiring, and if he truly had a violent past, he wouldn't have been hired.
This video sparking talk online about whether the officer used excessive force when he released his dog on a drunk man during a traffic stop.
Get down, do it now, get down. Pocket. Pocket.
I sat down with his boss, Punta Gorda Police Chief Tom Lewis, who says the officers received counseling and new training since, and they've changed their policy on how canines can be used. When asked if Officer Lee Cole had a history of complaints when it came to excessive force, he had a clean record with their department, but he was hired after parting ways with the Miramar Police Department after his probation period.
Was there any incident that happened, or?
My understanding is there was an incident regarding the use of force and an arrest that he made.
The incident wasn't enough to stop them from hiring him.
There's a video of that as well. We viewed that video during his background investigation, and in the totality of the circumstances, we decided at the time to hire him.
Other Southwest Florida agencies have similar stories. Deputy Trevor Lehman landed in the spotlight in 2013 because of this video, which led to his termination from the Fort Myers Police Department. He was later cleared and rehired by the Fort Myers Police Department, but Lehman resigned in July after he was involved in a bar fight. But months later, he's hired as a Lee County deputy. I called the police union president to find out how officers can jump from agency to agency, even with excessive force complaints.
Oftentimes, when there are complaints, they are just that, complaints. Most police departments thoroughly investigate complaints, and if you look deeply into each incident individually, you'll find out that complaints are often, more times than not, frivolous and unfounded.
Sellers says it's highly unlikely an agency would hire someone with a legitimate high liability.
That's oftentimes what police departments are trying to avoid.
Now, I want to highlight that Officer Cole wasn't fired from his job in Miramar. He just didn't pass his probation period because of the incident. Now in the Punta Gorda Police Department, Cole and his canine partner Spirit have been reunited, but he's received death threats since the video went viral. Live in the studio, Sam Sosa, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right, thank you, Sam. In a matter of hours, the
At Ally Bank, no branches equals great rates. It's a fact, kind of like bill splitting equals nitpicking.
But I only had a salad.
It was a buffalo chicken salad.